Good morning. My name is Diana Ferris. I'm the Director of Training for Adjutants. Today I'm going to show you how to use the equation writer and insert text so that you can have an oral administration for the questions as well as the answers for any mathematical equation. Many of you are already familiar on how to create a test with questions and answers. So this will be just a brief overview. In order to create an assessment, go to the apps icon at the top of the page, go to assessments, go to the icon that says new assessment, click on that. And now, as you're very familiar with this part, fill in the following information, such as the title, the grade, the course, and the directions. I'm now ready to create a new question. At the bottom of the page, click on New Question. In this area, I will want to choose my question type. I'm going to choose multiple choice for the first one. I'm going to click on the answer, the reporting category. I will use the drop-down menu to select my SE and add that. I'm going to put in the language, and now I'm ready to create my question. If the question is a simple equation, you may want to type that in. Once I finish typing in my answer choices, I can go to the top of the page and click on Speech Preview to see how this is going to sound to my students. If I'm happy with the question and the answers, and I want to add a new question, I can now say Save and New Question. I may want to use a more complex equation, so I'll use the equation writer. It may have fractions, exponents, the quadratic equation, or any of the above. The equation writer does serve as a suppressor to any text, and I'm going to have to type in my own text. I will demonstrate how to do that as we go through this video. Just as you did previously, fill in all of the information, including the answer, the type of question it is, the SE, the recording category, all of that particular information. Type in your question text, and in this particular instance, this question has a graph. I've already taken a copy of it from the released assessment, and I want to insert that in this particular position. In order to do that, I'm going to go to the clipboard and I'm going to paste that. Say OK. You can now see the graph of a linear function is shown on the grid and the question. Now you can see how the question will look to the student. Now I want to insert my answer choice. As I stated earlier, this is a fairly complex equation. So rather than typing it in, I want to use insert a math equation. When you're doing this, you can go across the different tabs and look at the different symbols as well as the different formulas that are available to you, such as fractions, square roots, exponents, parentheses. You can just go across these and use any of these that you need to use. So I'm going to type in my answer now. As you know, equations are read differently by teachers and students. So when you insert the text, you're going to choose how you want this particular equation read to your students. I want to insert a fraction at this point, but I want it also in parentheses. So I'm going to select my parentheses, and then I'm going to select the fraction box. You can see the numerator is on the top, denominator is on the bottom. Within these squares, I'm going to type in my numbers. And now I want to put an exponent. So I'm going to use this particular symbol and put in an exponent. Now I'm going to say insert. You can see how the equation will look to the student. In order to read this to a student, I want the cursor to be in front of the equation. I want to narrate this equation by using the speaker icon that says text to speech on the top bar. Click on that, and now you can type in the way you want the student to hear this particular equation. Once I have typed in the content, I will say OK. Once I finish filling in the equation or the information, I will see the speaker icon. I can see the equation. Now, if I want to hear how that's going to sound to the student, I can go to the top of the page, click on Speech Preview, and then click on Play.
Question 1. The graph of a linear function is shown on the grid. Which function is best represented by this graph? A. G of x equals 4x minus 2/3 squared.
When you've finished, you can review your test by clicking on Preview. You can see the different questions and how they'll look to the students. You can click on the speaker icon to hear how the questions and the answers are read. This question was simply typed in with the formula and the numbers. This question used the equation writer to type in the answer, as it was a complex equation. Remember, if you use the equation writer, it suppresses any oral administration, so you have to go back in and enter the text as you wish it read to the student. This completes how you use the equation writer and how to enter in text so that the student may hear how you want the equation read. Thank you for your time.